Her beauty enslaved men, while her boldness and audacity left them slightly intimidated. After all, not every lady of the 19th century could pull off wearing men's attire in the midst of sand dunes. Lady Hester Lucy Stanhope was born in 1776 into an aristocratic family as the daughter of the 3rd Earl of Stanhope. Her mother, Lady Hester Pitt, passed away prematurely due to postpartum fever. Her father had no interest in his daughters, remarried, and Hester was sent to live with her grandmother, Hester, Countess of Chatham. And yes, her grandmother's mother was also named Hester. Girls' education was not given much priority, as it was expected that they would simply marry well. Their grandmother deprived them of motherly affection, and when she passed away, the sisters moved in with their uncle, William Pitt the Younger. He was the Prime Minister of Great Britain, unmarried, lonely, and childless. Hester became like a daughter to him and took on the role of lady of the house. She presided over the dining table, welcomed noble guests, and hosted grand social receptions. Word of the Prime Minister's niece spread across Britain. She was renowned not only for her beauty but also for her sharp wit and conversational skills, despite the gaps in her formal education. She was a truly inquisitive young woman, fascinated by tales of adventurers and new discoveries. A few years later, Hester transformed from the lady of the house into the Prime Minister's secretary. "How cunning," the nobleman remarked. "It is easy to become the Prime Minister's secretary when he is your uncle." And indeed, they were not wrong. For an English lady of the 19th century, Hester had achieved an astonishing career milestone. Britain recognized her contributions. When William Pitt passed away, Lady Stanhope was granted a pension for her years of service. She loved her uncle dearly, as he was one of the few relatives who did not abandon her. In a romantic and melancholic mood, Hester made a decision to conquer the East, embarking on a long adventure across the desert dunes. Hester's journey began in Athens. She was accompanied by 2 maids, a physician, who later became her biographer, and a lover. From Athens, the adventurers set sail for Constantinople, planning to travel to Cairo. Along the way, Hester's ship was wrecked. Fortunately, everyone survived, but they lost all their belongings. Lady Stanhope refused to wear a veil, instead choosing a man's outfit: a purple velvet robe, a turban, intricately embroidered trousers, and a saber. In this attire, the noble Englishwoman attended an audience with the Pasha. Over the next few years, the English lady traveled to Gibraltar, Malta, the Peloponnese, Palestine, the Ionian Islands, Lebanon, and Syria. She never wore a veil, even in Damascus. To reach the legendary ruins of Palmyra, she had to cross territories controlled by hostile Bedouins. Hester dressed as a Bedouin and took 22 camels with her. For her courage and defiance, she was nicknamed the Queen of the Desert. At one point, it was revealed that Lady Stanhope had come into possession of a medieval manuscript, written in Italian, a copy of a Syrian document. The manuscript claimed that for 6 centuries, a treasure had been hidden beneath the ruins of a mosque in the city of Ashkelon, now part of Israel. In 1815, she convinced the local authorities to grant her permission to excavate. However, instead of a chest of gold coins, Hester's team unearthed a headless, 2-meter-tall statue. Lady Stanhope ordered the statue to be smashed and the fragments thrown into the sea. It is believed that she did this not out of anger, but to demonstrate to the local ruler that, unlike other Europeans, she had no intention of taking treasures back to Europe. But why not offer it to the Sultan? That remains a mystery. Whatever the reason, she became one of the first women to engage in archaeology. Soon, her wanderlust faded. Her companions abandoned her, her loyal maid died, and her biographer returned to London. Hester wandered through Lebanese monasteries, feeling as though the East refused to let her go. She settled near Sidon, now a city in Lebanon, in a cozy residence atop a hill, offering a magnificent view. She was welcomed by the Emir of Lebanon, Bashir Shihab II. A few years later, Hester took in hundreds of Druze refugees, fleeing tribal and religious conflicts, earning the emir's resentment. In her new reality, Lady Stanhope held near-absolute power over the surrounding regions, becoming the de facto ruler of the area, controlling the local population. By the end of her life, Hester had lost her influence. Her pension barely covered her living expenses. She withdrew from the world, accepting visitors only after sunset, allowing them to see only her hands and face, while wearing an Eastern turban atop her shaved head. Hester Stanhope passed away in 1839, at the age of 63. She died peacefully, in her sleep. All she left behind were the writings of her biographer,